if you are healing from a event that was caused by what another person said or did, sometimes we have voices in our head that aren't our voice. I would say actually like probably 85% of the voices in our head aren't things that we would ever say to ourselves organically. Most of the things in our head are things that we've heard other people say about us that we've allowed ourselves to repeat and replay over and over like a tape recorder. And because of that, we've allowed it to overcome our mind. And we've allowed that to become our new reality in the ways in which we operate. Hey y'all, welcome back to Holistic Flow. I am your girl Lolo. In this video, I got a request to do a whole video about how to heal from basically how you know you're sitting with your demons and how to heal from it. When your trust has been broken, when somebody has betrayed you, when you have even like childhood traumas, which all of us have in some shape or form. Now, a lot of these might come naturally, but other of these are going to be things that you want to deliberately do to enhance your self-awareness and also just release them damn demons. Let's get into it. The first thing to do when you are trying to heal from trauma is to start saying no more. I've personally been through the whole journey of releasing being a people pleaser, but one of the main things that starts to happen when you're starting to heal from something is you start to realize how much time and energy you're dedicating towards other people's happiness, because you may not give yourself enough credit, you may not celebrate yourself enough, and you may feel inadequate with what you have and your own abilities. In a lot of ways, sometimes we try to compensate for what we think we lack by making up for it, by being people pleaser or always being a yes man, always trying to be the person who's on the other person's side, and also being in a space of healing. You want to contribute to the betterment of other people's lives just out of the goodness of your heart, right? But know that too much of anything is abuse. When you say yes, that's expensive to say yes. That's an investment in other people's time, or you're investing your time into other people's time, space, energy. So if that resonates with you, try saying no twice as much as you say yes, and then your yes will become a lot more powerful. And then you'll own that yes a lot better. So that's number one. The second thing you want to do, and these are in no particular order, by the way, but the second thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to ask all of your closest, most supportive people around you what your best trait is. And then once they tell you, repeat it to yourself. So if they say that your best trait is that you're more caring than any other person that they've ever met, say, I am caring, because you are. If they tell you that you are worthy of all the love and respect that you receive and all the compliments that you receive, and you are worthy of celebrating yourself, say that I am worthy of love, I am worthy of respect, I am worthy of all the accolades that I have. I am not an imposter. Say it as if you are it, even if you don't believe it. We need to start seeing ourselves from the perspective of someone who's not us. Because everyone else who's not us sees our gifts, our talents, and abilities. Even if you don't have a best friend, even if you don't have a close friend, you have someone who's closest to you. It might be an acquaintance, but there's still people in your life that you can ask them, what is your best trait? Repeat it to yourself and affirm that to yourself. Another thing that you would want to do, speaking of affirming something for yourself, is to have a relaxed mind. Repeat after me. Relaxation, visualization, affirmation. Go ahead, say it out loud. All right, there you go. Allow yourself to be relaxed. Start to be more self-aware of when you have tension that you hold in the body. Just start to do this exercise where you just, maybe even scrunch your ears up by scrunch your shoulders up by your ears, tense up everything in your body. Inhale, exhale, and just let it fall. Right? If you did that with me, you just got 5 times more relaxed in your body Relax your shoulders, relax your face. A relaxed mind is a powerful mind. Visualization. So after you relax your mind, if there's a situation that you're in or a mindset that you have about yourself that is not ideal, what would it look like for you to have that ideal outcome? And visualize yourself there. Visualize how you feel. So the mind is already powerful by itself. But whatever you believe with emotion, that is a blueprint for your reality. So relaxation, and then visualization, and then affirmation. I just talked about affirming whatever is in your mind that, or not in your mind, whatever that you currently don't believe about yourself that you need to start believing in yourself. And after you've relaxed your mind, visualize what you want, and then affirm that you will have it, or that you're already in the frequency of being able to receive that. Then that's all you need. Something else that you should do is you need to evaluate your self-care routine. How long is that routine? How much time in that day that you've designated for it, how much time do you give yourself to pamper yourself? If you don't have a self-care routine, I would identify that, and first identify what's the roadblock for what is in your way. Like, what is in your way? Are you in your way? That's the real question. Are you in your way? The answer probably is yes. Because that's probably the number one thing in our way. And I know that we all have obligations, like, a job and stuff like that. A lot of us are caretakers, whether it's for, your children or your parents or someone else or family or friends. Some of us are actually lacking in whatever we're obliged to do in our life, just like our caretaking roles, our job, our home life situation. We're actually doing a worse job at that because we don't prioritize self-care, and we prioritize that first. We actually prioritize giving to others more than we give to ourselves, and we think that that's doing a better job, but it's actually doing a much worse job. A lot of y'all ask about my skincare routine. It starts with drinking my water. Each part of my day-to-day routine, which is my self-care routine, is washing my face or just hydrating through my face. And really, the whole skin is the biggest organ on the body. In the evening time, I like to use this brand called Light Water Skin, feeding your skin with quality ingredients and quality products. And I've been using their night cream for a while now, and it just boosts the hydration on my face. It feels nice and fresh when I put it on. And I actually have a link in my description box to try out Light Water Skin. You can use the code FRESH15 and you'll actually save up to $40 on your first order if you subscribe and save your money. And I promise you, it'll definitely be worth it if you want to feed your skin and your organs, because the skin is an organ, with quality ingredients and hydration. Fifth thing that I would really do to start to heal from either trauma, mistrust, or just being broken inside is to get comfortable sitting in silence for 5 minutes of your day. A lot of us just need to be okay with recognizing that elephant in the room and just acknowledging that it's there, and then inviting it to leave. So I would, work on, if you're scared of silence, work on why that freaks you out. What is there to be scared of? Fighting for us on our behalf, fighting for our protection, for our safety, for our comfort, for our growth. And life is working for you, not to you. I'll say that again, and I'll rephrase it. Life happens for you, not to you. But if you believe that life happens to you, then it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And if you keep telling yourself that, that's exactly what's going to be. But if you believe and tell yourself and affirm, relaxation, visualization, affirmation. If you affirm that life happens for you and not to you, then sweetie, it'll happen for you. And that's how the mind works. So if you want to sit in silence, start that, and then you'll start to uncover things that are hidden deep beneath the depths of the earth crust. And by the earth, I mean your mind. One of the next things that you need to do, and this is going to take some digging, is to the traumatic experience that caused your overwhelm, whatever form it takes, and visualize yourself, whether you were a child, whether it was 5 days ago, in that experience. And just that alone may be hard. This is very transformative. In that time, There was something that you feel like you needed to feel either safe, secure, appreciated, not neglected, whatever you needed to feel that you didn't have. What would your life have looked like had you had exactly what you needed in that moment? Just identifying that is a big step, because sometimes we don't even understand or realize why we're in the space of self-expression that we're in. But if we can go back to that time and identify what it is that we feel like we're missing, like what is that void, what is that dark hole, or not dark hole, but like what is that missing hole that needed to be filled in that space and time, and everything that has happened after that has been a result of that being missing, then you can kind of backstep and go forward with everything else that I'm gonna say. Number 7, if you are healing from a event that was caused by what another person said or did, sometimes we have voices in our head that aren't our voice. I would say actually like probably 85% of the voices in our head aren't things that we would ever say to ourselves organically. Most of the things in our head are things that we've heard other people say about us, that we've allowed ourselves to repeat and replay over and over like a tape recorder. And because of that, we've allowed it to overcome our mind. And we've allowed that to become our new reality in the ways in which we operate. Allow their voice to leave your head. I have authority over the thoughts that I decide to replay in my mind. You don't have authority over that, because you are not me. We have autonomy over that. And to think that, or to not be aware that there's other people who we have allowed to penetrate our mind in a way that takes over our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, is unfortunate. So realize that that person's face, that person's talk, that voice that is telling you whatever is telling you, that's making you feel the way you feel or think the way you think, that's not your voice. It's a voice that you've allowed to replay over and over and over in your head. But realize that you've allowed it. So if you can allow it, then you can unallow it. And that's the power that you have. Number 8, you got to release control, surrender. And I know that's so ironic, because I just talked about realizing your control over your mind, over your thoughts, realizing your autonomy. However, control is an illusion. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Yeah, we have control over our body. We have the control to choose what outcome that we can decide in our life, right? However, I think the greatest gift that we've been given by a creator is the option to choose. We can choose what we do with our body, with our words, with our life ultimately. But there will always be circumstances that simply happen that we wouldn't have wished upon ourselves ever, or we wouldn't even wish on our worst enemies, right? And those are the things that make us feel like we don't have control. For things that are beyond your authority, such as what other people do, how other people choose to operate, and how it may affect you, you have to relinquish that control. Sometimes you can pray all you want to, but if you still try to operate past a certain point, if you still try to physically work past a certain point where you have to give control up to God, then you'll be working so hard that you get exhausted because you haven't yet surrendered. Once we become aware of it, we realize that there's a certain point that it's for our advantage that we won't have control over it. So surrender is going to be your best friend. That's going to be key. Number 9, you got to let it out. There's so much energy pent up in the throat chakra. We got to scream. Have you ever just had a really good scream? Let it out. Be vocal about the pain that you're experiencing. Express yourself in other ways. If you like to draw, if you like to do an art form, if you like to sing. That's why a lot of us on this channel are creatives. And so we found another way to express ourselves. Sometimes when you have tried everything, you haven't tried everything. So you need to express yourself in a way that is vocal and physical, but doesn't hurt anybody else. So it's not other people who are your enemy. It's not even the person who hurt you, who maybe even abuse you. They're not your enemy. something within them that is the opposition. Last thing is really important. You all know that the people who you hang around, the people who you surround yourself with is so important, to the point where you really are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around. You really are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around. So identify your 5 closest people. Are you dependent on any one of them? If you are, let them go. If you're dependent on any of the friends, now this is different if it's like a family member and you are being taken care of by somebody else for physical needs, or honestly, obviously, if you are a child or under 18 living in your parents' house, this is not applied to you. But if you are dependent on someone who you're not supposed to be dependent on, and you know that it is not serving you, then it's time to let them go. As creatives, as caretakers, as empaths, sometimes we become dependent on needing other people, or sometimes we become dependent on being needed or being the caretaker. We depend on that. So it can come in many forms, but it doesn't serve you. So let it go. All right, that's my video. Let me know, what was your favorite one? Which one have you tried? And what was your favorite part of the video? Let me know down below. And I hope that I see you in the next video. But until then, I'm sending peace your way, love your way, and joy to you, your family, and your friends. All right, y'all. Peace.